City Manager Bill Osborne, and I want to thank each of you for being here for this historic occasion. I said those exact words some 16 months ago at a Douglasville Conference Center event. In fact, some of you here tonight may have been there on September the 22nd, 2011 for our groundbreaking ceremony. Obviously, we have a very different ceremony tonight, but what an important event that was back in September to start work of 2011, to start work on this facility, and what a great occasion that is here tonight as we have our grand opening. Now, 9 months after the groundbreaking, some of you gathered a second time on O'Neill Plaza, and for those of you who may not be that familiar with downtown Douglasville, O'Neill Plaza is right across Church Street from where we are now, and we had the topping out ceremony for this event, for this building. That was in June the 15th of 2012. And I pointed out then that there would be a third occasion that I would be before you, and by golly, here we are tonight. Now, as you can see from the printed program, I have the pleasure of welcoming you to this grand opening celebration. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're delighted to have you here tonight. You are a member of a very special select group because you're in attendance for the first event being held in the new Douglasville Conference Center. Now in the future, when somebody tells you that they have been to an event in the Douglasville Conference Center and they ask you if you've seen it, you can say to them in a rather nice voice, maybe a little condescending, to let them know you were here for the very first event that was held in the Conference Center. Now I want to say a special welcome tonight to those meeting and conference center planners who are with us. We hope that you enjoy what you see tonight. We hope you will come back and bring business with you when you come. Now we also have other people here tonight, of course, elected officials, community leaders, from different segments of our community here in Douglasville, Douglas County, and I want to give you a special welcome also. In a few minutes, Mayor Harvey Persons will be introducing our local elected officials who are with us tonight. I have the pleasure, though, at this time of making 3 introductions, and I'm going to do that while I'm up here at the podium so that to the 3 speakers, after I finish introducing the speakers, the first speaker will come up, and after he finishes, then the second speaker automatically will come up, and then the third speaker. And that will, of course, prevent me from having to come back up to the podium each time to do the introductions. First, though, I want to introduce Mark Reese, a partner in the Atlanta architectural firm of Raymond Associates. This firm was selected by the City Council a few years ago through a very competitive process. And I think a significant factor in Raymond Associates being selected was not only did they make an effective presentation to us, but when we found fault with some parts of that presentation and came up with other ideas, they were very quick to incorporate that and not to argue what they had presented, but to look at what we were wanting, and so we began to work closely together. I think, though, that our working relationship really was cemented as a result of the fact that we had to delay the start of this project by more than a year while we worked out through our legislative delegation of one particular revenue source. Raymond Associates, I think, was impressed by the fact that we went down to their offices in Atlanta, explained to them why we would not move forward with the project at this time, and I think we were impressed with Raymond Associates that they stuck with us, just held things together until we were ready to start, and I think what you see tonight is certainly the result of a lot of good architectural design work that they did. Now, so Mark Reese I will be calling on in just a moment to come up to make comments on behalf of Raymond Associates. The second speaker I have the pleasure of introducing tonight is William Pinto, President of Hardin Construction Company. Bill Pinto heads one of the premier construction companies for conference centers, major entertainment venues, office complexes, and other signature buildings. I remember Hardin Construction Company when I was just a young man. They've been around a long time. I've been aware of their work down through the years. Bill, your team did a great job, I believe, and I think the experience that all of us will have tonight as we look at this building, the facilities, lets all of us know that the City Council made the correct choice in choosing Hardin Construction. Alex Henry and the team that worked with Alex here in Douglasville are to be commended for the job they did. And one of the things I believe that I know they sought to do, and I think they were successful in, is doing this job in a rather tight environment with a relative minimum inconvenience, not only to the businesses in the downtown area, but also being very mindful of those businesses' customers, and we appreciate that. Now, the final speaker I have the pleasure of introducing is the Mayor of the City of Douglasville, Harvey Persons. Now, at the first of this month, Harvey Persons began his second year of service as mayor of this city. However, he certainly is no stranger to local government in this community. Some 20 years ago, he was a member of the City Council, and then after being out of elective office for some 16 years, he successfully sought the mayor's office in 2011. Now, during that 16 years, he was still very active locally, serving at different times on the city's Planning and Zoning Commission and on the Douglas County Planning and Zoning Commission. Now, since he has been mayor of Douglasville, Harvey Persons has shown an eye for detail and a strong commitment to this city's future. And these qualities certainly have been evident in his efforts to make sure that work on this new conference center was completed on time and in a very cost-effective way. In conclusion, I want to thank all of you again for being here tonight. And now, as our program continues, please join me in a warm welcome for Mark Reese, Bill Pinto, and Mayor Harvey Persons.
Bill, thank you. I'm not nearly as good at the microphone as you are, so I hope that I can keep up that same pace. I was watching the Golden Globes the other day, and I'm going to take a cue from it. The first thing I'm supposed to do is to recognize my gorgeous wife and thank her for putting up with all of my behavior. I should probably acknowledge my mother and a bunch of other people in the room, and we'll get to all of those folks. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago that Mayor Thompson had an idea about this conference center, and we really owe him a debt of gratitude, because he was the inspiration to get this place going. And the first designs we showed him were not well received, as Mr. Osborne said, but we quickly took the cues from the city of Douglasville, and we got back on track, and we started getting a design together that really became better and better and better as it evolved. And I must say, somebody earlier today asked me, well, Mark, what do you think of it? And is it what you expected? And really, this building exceeds everything that I was hoping it was going to be. It really turned out to be a gorgeous facility. It's something that we can all be proud of. And a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into making it happen. And I'd like to point out a few of those folks. There are some folks here from, and I'm looking for my cheat sheet here that I put on my phone. There are a number of folks here that I would like to point out that are sort of the guys that rolled up their sleeves and the ladies that helped make it happen. A couple of folks from Hardin that really should stand up and get recognized. Alex Henry and Tom and Jurgen, you three guys are great fellows to work with. If y'all haven't talked to Jurgen is Jurgen's the quietest guy you'll ever meet, but he was the driving force behind getting this job done. And so if you have a chance, go over and shake his hand and congratulate him for making it happen, because he's the man. There are some folks with the city that are the unsung heroes here. Jeff Knowles and Marcia Hampton, where are you guys? mark my words, one day they'll be running this city. They pretty much do it now, but you know, it's just a matter of time. There's folks from my team. Carrie, you stuck it through all of the difficult things that we had to go through to get it to happen, but stand up and take a bow, because Carrie was a hero in getting this all said and done. Deb Robinson, to make it happen and get all the furniture and all of the interiors of this thing put together. You're also one of the folks that just are very important to get it. And you know, there's countless other people that really should be identified, and I'm not going to go into all that, because it'll turn into the Golden Globes, and they start blinking the lights and bringing the beautiful girls and say, all right, you got to go on out of here. So you know, just in closing, Mayor Persons, I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be your architect and to carry through this design and to get it all done. It's a spectacular building, and we're all proud to have accomplished it for you. Thank you.
Bill, thanks for the remarks, and Mark, thank you. I'd also like to recognize Mark's lovely wife, because my wife is with grandkids tonight, and that's usually her decision. Do I go with you to a function? Do I go with grandkids? I know where I sit. But that's good. Well, let me say, we at Hardin Construction Company know that in the life of each construction project, there comes a point when everything changes. In the life of the city of Douglasville Downtown Conference Center, we've reached that point. This is the time when the design and the construction team fades into the background, sometimes quickly and unceremoniously, and the new building takes center stage and stands fully in the spotlight. Where once the construction crew was at the center of the action, called on, depended on, leaned on to provide project updates or expert advice, or what we in the industry call project fun facts. So now, well, with a new building to celebrate and enjoy, most of you, and if you'd be honest, really don't have any interest in knowing about how many pieces of precast were in the parking deck, or how many gallons of paint we put into this conference center. I'll be honest. But there may be a couple of you that say, well, gee, I'd really like to know that. So I'm going to tell you. There are 250 pieces of precast in this parking deck out here. And there's 1,200 gallons of paint that we used in this building. There's a lot more fun facts. Quite frankly, I don't know the facts, but these guys over here in timeout in table 7, feel free to come up and ask them about some of the facts, because they do get interesting. So thank you very much for inviting Hardin Construction Company to your building's coming out party, and for including us in this dedication. To Mayor Persons, members of the Douglasville City Council, and elected officials, to all of you, congratulations on the grand opening of your new conference center. Now, with your permission, I'd like to give a final report of sorts. Thanks, Joe and Mark. Thanks to your firm, Rabin, Roche, Rector, and Reese, for being a great partner. I know I'm biased, but I also want to recognize and ask for your help in recognizing the Hardin project team for its outstanding work. Alex, Jurgen, Tom, Montaigne, Bill Smeltzer, who's not here, Jake Gibson's not here right now, all supported by one of my partners, Steve Bachman. They make us proud all the time. And all of us at Hardin are proud to have been part of delivering this great facility to the city. and just as proud to add this to the Hardin portfolio. When we move on to another city for another project of this nature, we're going to have your facility front and center. Our mission for this project involved more than delivering a beautiful, well-functioning building and a project that wrapped up on time and within budget. Aren't those nice words? As with each Hardin project, we committed to supporting local businesses, to building quality relationships, and to creating an experience that would leave you feeling good, not just about Hardin's performance, but also about the construction industry in general. As an industry, we don't have the best reputation, unfortunately. We hope we accomplished each of these goals. I can tell you there is one important target that we did hit. Our contract with the city set a goal of spending 20% of the construction budget with local businesses. I'm pleased to report that we met, in fact, we exceeded that goal. Almost 25% of the construction budget was spent with businesses within Douglas County. That totals almost $3 million of business, and we're proud of that accomplishment. And I can tell you that Douglasville has left its imprint on the Hardin team. Now, our guys are generally pretty friendly. You heard about Jurgen, quiet. But no one would ever accuse this group of gushing, at least not until now. They have absolutely gushed about their experiences working with Marcia Hampton, Jeff Knowles from the city, and Mark Reese from the architectural firm, their day-to-day team partners. Here is a sentiment expressed by one of our team members, and I'm going to quote. The team out here in Douglasville was absolutely phenomenal. Every meeting we had was full of jokes and laughter. We were serious about construction, and good feelings. We got our work done, but without undue stress and without animosity. End of quote. So Marcia, Jeff, Mark, thanks for offering some of our strong silent types an experience that helped them open up and get in touch with their feelings. There is another example of your community's impact. Several of the wives have pointed out that their husbands have experienced expanded waistlines, thanks to their frequent visits to downtown Douglasville restaurants. The food is good. I'll end with this. 2 days before Hardin interviewed for the conference center job, Alex Henry and his wife Heather celebrated the birth of their son, AJ, Alex Jr. AJ's birth, according to Alex, was considered a good omen, and so it seems it was. Now, Alex and Heather are expecting to welcome another boy into their family sometime this spring. So I think of that as kind of like bookend good omens. That's good. Congratulations, Alex. So thank you for the confidence you placed in Hardin by selecting us for this project. Thank you for the business. Thanks for your friendship, your hospitality, and your camaraderie. Best wishes going forward. It is our hope that the Downtown Conference Center will be an important part of the community for very many long years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And before I start, let me say, and this is not to offend anyone, but Mark Reese and Bill Pinto kind of set the stage by recognizing Mark's wife. And I mean no offense, but if I follow in that footstep, then I've got to go home with this lovely lady over here, and I certainly don't want to offend her, but I would like to recognize my wife, Sherry Pershing. Most of you have had the opportunity to meet her tonight, and I know that. And the way I know that is I'd be going around meeting people, and she'd be off somewhere. I didn't know where, and I'd look and try, well, she's gone. And the next thing I know, she's back. And so we're moving along, and we go to meet somebody, and I say, well, I'd like for you to meet my wife, Sherry. And they say, oh, we've already met her. So to my lovely bride, thank you for putting up with me for 35 years. And I know most of you that know me go, how in the world has she done that for 35 years? You know, I don't either, but thank you. And I do appreciate it more than I can tell you. One other thing and one other comment I'd like to kind of get clarified before I move on. And Bill said something about, or no, I believe it was Mark said something about one day, Jeff and Marcia are going to be running this city. Well, Jeff and Bill and I are over there going, well, aren't they already doing it? So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This truly is a wonderful and long-awaited grand opening celebration of the new Douglasville Conference Center. And I'm very delighted you, each and every one of you, could be a part of this historic occasion tonight. As mayor of the great city of Douglasville, let me welcome you on behalf of the city of Douglasville. I welcome you whether you are among the local residents or business leaders or other guests from Douglasville and Douglas County, or whether you are a conference or meeting planner invited tonight so we can try to make a positive impression on you, which will result in you coming back again and again and again and again with business for this new conference center. I am sure all of you already know that the City of Douglasville officials are proud of this new conference center. And if you don't know that, if you'll see one of us before you leave tonight, I believe we can help you understand how we feel about this facility. And since you have now seen various parts of this facility and have enjoyed the great food prepared by our exclusive caterer, Miss Carol Parks, and I believe she's here somewhere. I know there she is. Let's give her a round of applause. I think you can understand why we wanted to show off our biggest and brightest attraction in downtown Douglasville. You've heard remarks from Mr. Bill Pinto and his staff on behalf of Hardin Construction, and I would like to echo to Alex and Jurgen and all of the staff what an excellent job you've done and how much we appreciate what you've done. And you heard from Joe Rayburn on behalf of Rayburn Architects, who designed it. In addition, you heard comments from City Manager Bill Osborne. You heard from Mark Reese. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a minute about the role that so many people played in bringing us to this point with this facility. But back to, you heard some brief comments from the City Manager Bill Osborne. But by my count, that's 3 speakers. So let's see. My math is correct. That makes me the 4th. Now, if you're a baseball fan, which I know some of you are, you know about the 4th person in the lineup. That's the cleanup hitter. I thought about that earlier, and I thought, I'm going to get to be the cleanup hitter. Now, I can get up here and do a pretty good job or a fair job, and some of you have made comments earlier about having to endure another one of my speeches. I don't know what you mean about that, but please humor me. But anyway, I'm the cleanup hitter tonight. But believe me, I look forward to being in that position tonight as the mayor of this great city. The program also says I'm responsible for the dedication of the new Douglasville Conference Center. And before I do that, I want to recognize also some people who are here for tonight's celebration. Let me start with a group of elected officials whom I have the privilege to work very closely with, and that is namely the members of the Douglasville City Council. Now, with each group that I introduce, I ask that you please hold your applause until I've called the names of all members of that group. And I would ask each person I introduce to stand as I call your name. First of all, Mayor Pro Tem Larry Yockey. In an alphabetical order, Councilman Mark Adams. Councilwoman, please remain standing. Councilwoman LaShawn Byrd Danley. Councilman Sam Davis. Councilman Doug LaGuire. Councilman Dennis McLean. And Councilman Carl Pope. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the members of the Douglasville City Council that I have the proud privilege of serving with. Next, let me introduce the elected officials with us from the Douglas County government, including the Board of Education. Commission Chairman Tom Wortham. Please remain standing. And District Commissioners Mike Mulcair, Henry Mitchell III, and Kelly Robinson. Judges David Emerson, William Bo McLean, Neil Detmarine, Eddie Baker, Susan Camp, and Barbara Caldwell. Next, Sheriff Phil Miller. And the sheriff called me just before we got here this evening and asked me to please offer his regrets for being unable to be here. He said that his wife, Gloria, was sick, and I guess she has this flu that's going around, and he said that, Mayor, you know, years ago, I would have probably gone. But over the years, I've learned a thing or two. Not much, but I've learned that it's probably best that I stay home tonight. And I said, Sheriff, I can truly understand that. I myself have learned a thing or two over the years, and I'd probably stay home too. So wise decision, but I'll give your regrets to the audience tonight and tell them that you would like to be here, but I wish your wife well. Next is District Attorney David McDade, Tax Commissioner Todd Cowan, Superior Court Clerk Rhonda Payne, Board of Education Chair Janet Kelly, and board members D.T. Jackson, Dr. Sam Haskell, Carol Lindstrom, and Jeff Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the elected officials of Douglas County government who are here with us tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. The final group of elected officials I want to introduce tonight are the state legislators who represent Douglasville and Douglas County in the Georgia General Assembly. And we certainly appreciate you taking time out tonight because we know that you're not really involved in anything special that's going on right now. And I'm being facetious about that. I was talking to one of our representatives earlier, and he said that the pace is, and the intensity is slowly picking up, and the pace is picking up. So we know that you've got a lot going on, but we certainly appreciate you taking time out of your schedules to be with us tonight for this event. Now, we have with us Senator Donzella James was unable to be with us and sends her regrets but regards. And we have one of our newest senators that will be representing Douglas County, and that is Senator Mike Dugan. If each one of you, as I announce, if you'll stand, if you'll hold your applause, but if you'll stand, and then we'll applaud each and every member of the General Assembly. Next, we have with us Representative Roger Bruce, who I may add, or might add, has been chosen by his peers to head the Douglas County delegation in 2013. My congratulations, Representative Bruce. Also in alphabetical order are Representatives Kim Alexander, Michael Gravely, Dustin Hightower, and LaDawn B. Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the members of the Douglas County State Legislative Delegation that are representing us at the Capitol. Thank you for being here. In addition, we have two former members of the Douglasville City Council here tonight who played key roles in making this new conference center become a reality. John Sherildorf and Terry Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, in the elected capacities, thank you each and every one for being here and taking time out of your schedules. But we also thank you for the job that you do representing us and being a part in our governmental process, because as each and every one of us know, it's very, very important. And we appreciate the time that you take and the giving that you give to help represent us in your different capacities. Thank you very much. Now, some of you can remember that for many, many years, there was really no place in Douglasville, in Douglas County, where you could have a conference of this magnitude, a banquet, or virtually any event involving more than a small number of people. Recognizing this need, the city of Douglasville began to look at options for providing such a facility for the benefit of our great community. In fact, we were working on this when I was a member of the city council more than 20 years ago. Now, I know some of you out there looking and saying, he doesn't really look that old. But believe me, I'm older than I look. On several occasions down through the years, the city government came very close to obtaining a commitment from a major hotel chain to build a large hotel in Douglasville if the city, through its convention and conference authority, would provide a conference center. We came so close one time, so close, that the hotel developer actually had completed architectural plans for a hotel, a large national chain hotel, a conference center complex. But as most of you know, unfortunately, closure did not come. Believing there could be a successful conference center in downtown Douglasville, though, the city government some 12 years ago took action to buy an old office building originally bought or built decades ago to become, does anybody know what? A cotton warehouse. And then to turn it into a conference center. And the city fathers and the convention and conference authority did so. The Downtown Conference Center was dedicated, and we're talking about the Downtown Conference Center that's right across Church Street, on December the 17th, 2001, and became an immediate success. Now let me pause for a moment to recognize the current members of the city's Convention and Conference Center Authority Board who are here tonight. Please stand as I call your name. We have our longtime chairman, Dan Baker. Also, please welcome members Greg Reel, Willa Cook, and the board's newest member, Jack Tyser. Let's give them a round of applause. As most of you know, this 11-year-old facility, which is located just across Church Street from where we are here tonight, continues to operate to this day. The two city employees hired in advance of that December 2001 dedication to handle key components of the city's conference center, Director of Conference and Center Operations, Jennifer Bean. Where's Jennifer? Jennifer Bean, and Conference Center Supervisor. I've got a name here, but you'll probably better recognize the name Mr. Conference Center, where's Carlos? Sounds like you got a fan or two in the room. You may be seated. Okay, they're still with us. Only now, they're assuming, as you can see by this facility that you're in tonight, much greater responsibilities. Concerning the old conference center, I've been asked, what are we going to do with it? Well, the city plans are for this facility to continue to operate in the months ahead as part of the new Douglasville Conference Center complex. Now, as you heard City Manager Bill Osborne say earlier in the program, groundbreaking ceremonies for this beautiful structure were held on September the 22nd, 2011. Now, that was while I was still campaigning for the office of mayor of the city of Douglasville. Once I had been elected, a high priority of mine was to gain a very good understanding of how the new Douglasville Conference Center would function once completed and open, as well as what services it would provide. As I am sure each of you can appreciate, I wanted details. Some of you can appreciate this more than others, and you know who you are. But I wanted details on Hardin's construction plans, the construction schedule, and projected construction cost, because those were very important items to me. Also, I wanted a clear understanding of how the city planned to pay off the construction debt and handle the operating costs. These were things I reviewed while I was campaigning and became very actively engaged in. Some might say more engaged in than I should have been or they wanted to. But I wanted to make sure that we return the investment back to our citizens that they were looking for. But I became very actively involved once I was elected. As you can look around tonight, I think we can agree that Raven Architects and Hardin Construction have delivered an excellent finished product to the city of Douglasville. And I'd like to give them a round of applause. They mentioned that the city of Douglasville had been excellent to work with and that the employees had been excellent to work with. But I can tell you that these gentlemen and ladies have been a joy and a pleasure to work with. They've had a passion for this project, and they wanted to see that the project was delivered that we were looking for. And I might add, is there anybody that's disappointed? I didn't think so. Bill Pinto, president of Hardin, has given us some statistics about this new conference center, which I won't repeat. Unless, is there anybody that'd like for me to tell you about how many gallons of paint and precast? And let me tell you one quick story, though. Where's Marcia? She's going, oh gosh, there he is, he's getting off script. But somebody told me one day that they were going to have 200 tractor trailers over a 40-day period. Well, I'm sorry, over a 4-week period, delivering tractor trailers of precast concrete to this parking deck. And I'm thinking, oh no, I can hear the phone ringing off the hook now. You know, snarl traffic, people can't get to work, downtown business owners. You know how many phone calls I received during that 4-week period about y'all delivering precast concrete and 200 tractor trailers coming through town? You know how many I got? 0. Bill, did you get any? How'd you do it? You did a great job. So to Bill Pinto, his staff, to Mark Reese, to all the others, thank you. You did a great job. However, I am going to deliver some facts to you. I do want to emphasize that this facility that we have has the flexibility for you to be able to utilize it in many different ways. This gorgeous ballroom that you're sitting in of over 7,600 square feet can accommodate 560 people for a meal function and up to 1,000 people for theater-style seating. This ballroom, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but this ballroom can be subdivided into up to 5, hope the event planners are listening, up to 5 smaller rooms. So as you breathe in the beauty of this ballroom, knowing that there is nothing like it in this part of the state, nothing. Keep in mind the flexibility it offers to conference and meeting planners, please. Now, let me also note that there are a 150-seat auditorium, an executive boardroom, and several multi-purpose rooms within this new facility of some, Jurgen, is this right, Alex? 37,000 square feet? 30, and I think they've covered every inch and foot of it, correct? More than once. But speaking of flexibility, the auditorium will also serve as the new meeting site for the Douglasville City Council, which we will be starting to do in a few weeks. Now, for the parents or grandparents of brides-to-be, let me point out, do we have some? Let me point out the Douglasville Conference Center can handle 2 weddings simultaneously, with each wedding having its own separate pre-function area, wedding ceremony room, dressing rooms, reception space, and interior and exterior photo opportunity areas. As you probably know, we have an exclusive on-site catering company, Carroll Parks Catering, who I might add did a wonderful job with the dinner tonight. Ms. Parks' company was chosen by the City Council through a competitive process. Carroll Parks Catering has many years of experience in the metropolitan Atlanta area. Using the full-service kitchen, which is located off from this ballroom, Carroll Parks will handle catering in both the new as well as the old conference centers. So we encourage you, please check us out. Now, before I conclude my remarks, and I'm getting close, bear with me, I want to touch on what I believe to be the importance of this new conference center as a part of downtown Douglasville, because it truly is the centerpiece for our downtown business district. As an aside, let me note that for many years, the fountain in adjacent O'Neill Plaza has been a landmark feature for downtown. Now, that water fountain will disappear in a few months. Now, it's not going to just evaporate. We have plans for it, but it will disappear. And we feel that the new landmark feature for downtown, I predict, will be the new clock tower located in front of this beautiful conference center. Now, the city fathers felt a new attraction and an anchor were needed downtown, especially with the relocation of the city's police department and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and jail. We believe the conference center can be that strong presence which brings people downtown, with one result being more customers for our downtown businesses. Thus, this new facility is significant from the perspective of economic development that it will bring to our downtown area, our county, and our community. Now, I want to dedicate this new conference. I want to dedicate this new Douglasville Conference Center, but before I do, I want to thank because there's been a lot of accolades given to a lot of people. But I want to thank all of the city employees who have worked on this project. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had the opportunity to work with our employees, you've missed something, because it's some of the finest group of people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. I've been blessed and had the opportunity to work with a lot of fine people in my work career. But I'm now having the opportunity to work with some of the finest people I'll ever have the opportunity to work with. We have a talented, committed, and hard-working group of employees. And a number of them have contributed to the success of this project. All of them have worked hard, but some have contributed in ways more than others. And tonight I want to recognize two of them by name. First, and I'm going to be talking about the two people that I referenced earlier. But first, I want to ask Jeff Knowles to stand. Jeff, where are you? Jeff is the director of the city's Development Services Department and also serves as the executive director of the City Development Authority. Mr. Knowles has been the city's primary contact, as you've heard, with Rayburn Architects and Harden Construction. Jeff, thank you for a job well done. Next, I want to ask Marsha Hampton to stand. Where's Marsha? Come on, stand up. Marsha is the director of the city's Community and Downtown Services Department, the Conference Center, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and many other areas of responsibility rest on Marsha's shoulder. Earlier in the month, I also appointed Marsha an additional role, and that is the title of Assistant City Manager. She has been the city's primary contact with the firms responsible for the furniture and various design features of this facility, and with Carroll Parks Catering. Marsha, thank you for a job well done. And this one's going to be a surprise to somebody because he's not expecting it. But next, Bill Osborne. Our city manager and my friend. And I'll tell you a quick little story. Bill didn't tell it tonight, but he told it earlier today, and he tells it sometimes, and he picks and chooses when and where he tells it. He tells that 20 years ago, almost 22, 23 years ago now, I was on the city council at the time, and we were looking for a new city manager, and we interviewed Bill. And Bill goes on to tell the story and when he's introducing me now, he's setting me up to get up. He says, now, if there's anything that I do that you like, you can thank the mayor for it. Now, if there's anything that I do that you don't like, I suggest you see the mayor about that, because he was the swing vote when they voted on whether or not I should be hired. One of the most important votes that I ever made while I was on the city council, and probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made. One of the best. Bill, thank you. Now, there's much I could say about Bill's role in this project, but time will not permit. So I'm going to say to you, a heartfelt thank you very much. Next, all of the city employees and the roles that they have played in getting us to this point. As I told you earlier, I've had the opportunity to work with what I consider in the past some of the finest people I know until I came or had the opportunity to be mayor of the city of Douglasville. And I'm having the opportunity to work with some of the finest people, the most committed and most hardworking people that I've ever been associated with. And at this time, like I said, those are the folks that have, all of them, everybody. There's a lot of people here tonight that you don't see that had a role in this. And they had a role in it by just helping the city on a day-to-day basis become the city that I think we have. And a special thanks goes to the employees that are here tonight acting as your host. And I believe you found all of them to be very gracious and polite because they're proud of what you see here tonight. And I want to thank them for being here tonight and taking up their time to help host you in this great facility. Where are the employees that are helping host? Will you stand if they're scattered throughout? You know, I've had several people come up to me tonight and say, you know, you did a great job. 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 You know, it's great. Y'all, you know, I'm the guy that gets to stand up here and give the speech. Sometimes some of you say longer than others. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the people that deserve the recognition and the accolades for seeing that this beautiful facility is completed on budget and on time. And to them, I personally say, not on behalf of the city, but personally say, thank you. And please join me in giving them one last round of applause. And now the point of the place that you've all waited for, and now as mayor of the city of Douglasville, I hereby dedicate the Douglasville Conference Center to the service of this great community and its citizens. May it, thank you. May it, let me continue to have your attention, please. May it continue, may it be a shining attraction for our downtown area, and may it be a place where wonderful memories are made for new brides, for people holding parties or banquets or other functions here, and for people who just want to appreciate the fact that at long last, Douglasville, Douglas County, has a high-quality facility of this nature to serve their community. So please join me in a toast to the Douglasville Conference Center. I hope you continue to enjoy the remainder of your evening. And as you leave the new 300-plus vehicle parking deck, please keep in mind there is no charge in the city's parking deck any time of the day or night or any day of the week. And you can't beat that when you're planning an event, either big or small, or just shopping or dining out in downtown Douglasville. We thank you for joining us tonight to help celebrate this very special evening, and I hope the rest of the evening you enjoy and the entertainment which will now be provided by the Tin Roof Band until 10 p.m. Thank you for coming. May God continue to bless you, your families, and our great city. Have a grand evening.